Hockey season's around the corner, and we're talking about who our top draft picks are going to be. I am Josh, this is Mike, and today we're on thin ice. Well, here we are. Hockey season's around the corner, and I feel like it would be kind of fun when we're around the corner here. We're gonna start it off a little bit of fun and make a little fantasy starting lineup for the people who we think are number one in each position for in hockey right now. And what I'm doing, I don't know about you. What I'm doing is I'm going based off of last year's stats almost. So some people have favorites. They might put them in their lineup. As you can see, I'm a Boston Bruins fan, but much to your surprise, I have no Boston Bruins in my starting lineup for this fantasy. Yeah, it's a big shocker. Yeah. All right, so I guess let's just dive right into it. What's about who's at your center?
Well, I think the center is like the rest of America is going to pick this guy because he is the clear-cut favorite, in my opinion, anyway. And that would be Conor Mcdavis.
All right.
Young guy, drafted in 2015.
First round
pick, and slowly is just progressing to just a beast on the ice.
Yeah.
Fast skater, great shot, quick thinker, and not only can finish the scoring, but he can also assist. He can really help others, and he's just a tremendous player. He hasn't hit a stride yet. I think that, to me, that's the number clear-cut player.
So Conor McDavid was your choice for center.
Correct.
My center is also Conor McDavid.
That's what I said. That's what I thought.
I mean, to be honest, it was like automatically when I came to my head, it was probably Patrice Bergeron. Because I like Patrice Bergeron,
sure.
Even despite him being a Bruin. I'm not going to be pick favorites, like I said, but Patrice Bergeron, he wins a lot of his face-offs, and he's a playmaker. He has a lot of passes. He shoots well. Yeah. But Conor McDavid, the guy's he scores. He puts the puck in net, and for what he's doing in Edmonton is kind of magical. Yeah. I mean,
one is just starting out his career. The other one is finishing.
Right.
So you can't go wrong with Patrice. But if you want to really start a team, then you got to go with a youngster, and Conor McDavis probably clear-cut the best player in the NHL today.
Yeah, well, last season he collected 105 points. Right. I don't know if you knew that. 33 goals, 72 assists. Right. And his plus-minus was 21.
Yeah.
21. That's a good plus-minus for a center, especially, out of everyone. Sure. But back to the let's move on to another position here. You said that, you have someone that's already uprising, and you have someone who's already established himself. Let's go to the left wing. Left wing.
Yeah, the left wing, it could have been either one. But, like I said, I'm also a Bruins fan.
Yeah.
And this guy is just the peskiest player. And I think everybody knows where I'm going to go with this, and that's Brad Marchand. He is probably one of the shortest players in the NHL, 5'9". But I've never seen such craftiness out of a player at that position like Brad Marchand is. He's not only is a great offensive player, but killing penalties. He's probably the most dangerous player in the ice.
Sure. You know how many shorthanded goals he gets at?
Yeah, for the past 3 years, he's been the top point producer in penalty kills.
Puck handling as well.
Puck handling, great. He's an agitator. You love him on your team, but if you are playing against him, God, can he get on your nerves? So Brad Marchand is my left winger.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you're not a Bruins fan, you hate Brad Marchand. Yeah. That's a thing. But for me, like you said, we were talking about established players, people on the rise. For me, I was thinking Marchand for left wing, but I went with the eighth wonder himself, Alex Ovechkin.
Okay.
You really, I don't think I have to explain why Alex Ovechkin on left wing. That guy is definitely a pain in the ass. See what he did with Washington? He does have some help in Washington, not going to lie, but the guy scores at least 40-plus goals every season.
But in NHL, even he's getting assists from other players, and he's got a great line that he plays with, but it's about creating your own shot. and how you're putting yourself in a position to finish up scoring. The guy always seems to be in the right place at the right time, always looking for that shot.
Yeah.
And it just takes a perfect pass for those one-time shots, and he is probably the best at it.
Yeah, I mean, what I love seeing is, I call it the OV, is whenever there's a face-off in their zone on the right side, as soon as he wins it, passes it to OV, that one-timer top left shot, it's perfect for him.
Power play, watch out.
Yeah, he's a killer. That's why I chose him for my left wing. Marchand's also a good choice. Right. But let's head on to the right wing. What you got in right wing?
In right wing, I put Kucherov from Tampa Bay.
Nikita Kucherov.
Yeah. Again, another guy who, dangerous with the puck. He can go from one end to the ice to the other. If you don't, with easy plays for him. It seems like everything is very easy for him. He's one of the top players every year since he's been in the league at finishing plays and assisting plays. Fast skater, great shot, great thinker on the ice. 515 games played, 221 goals, 326 assists, 547 points. Just a tremendous player. Only 28 years old.
Yeah, he's great.
He's got a long time left.
It's funny because, other than Marchand Ovechkin, I wasn't going to choose Marchand. So far, all of our picks have been kind of mutual.
Right.
I also chose Kucherov.
Yes.
From Tampa. Yep. Funny thing about my picks is that 3 out of the 6 is Tampa. I picked from Tampa.
Absolutely. That's what I have here as well. I could have gone with David Pastrnak because both of these players are so similar in play. They're great in a power play. They're ready for that one-timer all the time. They always have that particular corner that they play at, and they're just tremendous players on the point as well. They got a great shot. They usually lift the puck on the top of the net, which you don't see too many players today. Everything is based on the low and go. And these guys know how to finish plays. And Pastrnak, you can't go wrong with him. But I think that Kucherov is probably a little bit of a step ahead of Pastrnak at this point.
Yeah, Kucherov's pretty much deadly. I have some stats on him right now, and it seems like every year he's just scoring more and more goals.
Yes.
And he's staying, unless it was a little bit of a decline from last season and the season before that. He had 41. Last year he had 33, but still, to have that many goals as a wing is
the game today. The game today is a lot like back in a few years ago, and I think a few years ago, I'm going maybe 10, 15 years ago, the NHL kind of hit a kind of a dry spell. There are some top draft choices that worked out, but if you looked overall, the NHL, there was kind of a dry spell.
Yeah.
Now you see this new age. It's like everybody's got speed. Everybody has the skill. Everybody's got that finishing touch around the net. And there's some players that, I compared today's NHL hockey to the 80s hockey when you had Guy Lafleur, you had Gretzky, and then Mario came in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, guys who were just super skaters and super finishers. This is the decade for hockey. It's so exciting to watch hockey and to be part of hockey because there's so much young talent. I mean, if you can pick all, I believe 30 teams in the NHL, there's 1 or 2 super athletes on every team right now. It's super.
There's always that one star.
Exactly. And so it's fantastic.
It's like this is probably the only the one sport I don't mind where I don't mind throwing a rookie out there.
Yeah,
because they scout these rookies. It's not like they're scouting them from minor league or sometimes they scout them from other countries. They'll play for their country. They'll scout them and bring on I'm like, give them a shot. Yeah, why not? He did well in Russia or something like that. Bring them over here.
And the other thing too, the talent that's coming into the hockey into the league today, these guys already built and big.
Yeah,
they already
playing their whole lives.
Everybody, it seems like they're over 6 feet. Everybody's built, and so the game for them is not a major change from the AHL to the NHL because they already have so much skill. It seems like the kids are starting early in life in the NHL, in hockey, playing hockey, going through the ranks, and then coming into the AHL maybe and get drafted and playing maybe a year in the AHL, I should say, and going and getting drafted by the NHL. It's fantastic to watch.
It is a great time to watch hockey. I love watching hockey. Whenever it comes up, I get so excited.
Yeah.
I love watching it. It's probably the best sport to watch, in my opinion.
I think it is.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the defense. Give me your 2 defensemen for this lineup.
Well, I think John Carlson of the Washington Capitals.
John Carlson.
John Carlson.
Okay.
He's he reminds me of Robinson of the Montreal Canadiens back in the day. He's tall, physical. I mean, he throws his punches around. He knows what to do with the puck. He sets up plays beautifully. I mean, in the point, a power play is a machine out there. Got a great shot from the point. Carlson, I think, is got to be my top pick for the defense. And there's so many out there.
Yeah, there's more defensemen now. I think before there was like a little.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was a little bit of a dry spell there, but
was.
now there's plenty to choose from.
Yeah, I think John Carlson. I mean, look at the stats. I mean, 809 games, so he's been in the league for quite a few years.
Yeah.
But it seems like with age, he's just getting better, hitting his stride now. It's unbelievable.
Like Yager.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he still playing? Is he playing this year? Do you know?
I think he's playing in Europe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, Chara's still playing though.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
yeah.
What is it? Islanders now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So who's your other defenseman there?
Well, believe it or not, uprising Charlie McAvoy.
Charlie McAvoy.
I think Charlie McAvoy is going to be. He's going to command a lot of money.
For sure.
After this year's contract is up, he's just a physical. Right now, his offensive numbers is not really there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Although last year he had a little bit of an incline in his offensive numbers, but I think you give him with another 2 or 3 years, he's going to be a complete defenseman.
Yeah.
Probably the top paying defenseman in the league.
I remember when McAvoy was like, they were on the verge of not signing him.
Yeah.
And we had Chara at the time. I remember
Yes.
that. Everyone was waiting, like, sign McAvoy,
Correct.
Sign McAvoy. They finally signed him. Everyone was
And don't forget,
delighted.
He was a shadow on Chara's line.
Yeah.
His offensive numbers wasn't there because that's not Chara's game, and so he.
Well, it used to be.
It was at one time, and then Chara, as he got older, much older, obviously, because he lasted quite a long time. So it's great to see McAvoy kind of take a spot and lead the team in that department.
I wasn't, for some reason, I wasn't thinking of Charlie McAvoy. That surprised me.
Yeah.
So you have John Carlson and Charlie McAvoy in your defensive line right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to choose Victor Hedman.
Yeah, I had him.
In Tampa.
I had him.
Yep.
Too. Yeah.
Victor Hedman, and I'm going to have Eric Carlson from San Jose.
Okay.
Those guys,
yeah,
they're pretty good. They're pretty good defensively. I feel like Carlson. I feel like San Jose kind of flies under the radar for a lot of people. They don't really. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's like
they were knocking on the ceiling or knocking on the door quite a few years ago. Remember Joe Thornton was there.
Yeah,
and,
Joe Thornton.
And they were always in the finals, but they never hit their stride. They never, never reached any more than that. So, but I think they've fallen off the map a little bit, and they're good, but not. I don't think they're an elite team just yet. I think they're once again rebuilding. So that's how it is in the NHL.
I think they did make playoffs last year, though.
Yeah, but I think they're good enough to get there, but I just are not good enough to go all the way.
Yeah, to go all the way. I feel that.
Yeah.
But I feel like those are solid choices for defense as well.
Yeah.
So I know how you feel. You're pretty much like, I feel like a lot of people look at this is the main position right now. People get blamed. It's almost like the quarterback in NFL.
Yeah.
Like, they always get blamed for a loss, even though the defense just doesn't stop the offense at all. Somehow it's the quarterback's fault.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I'm kind of like that with the goalie in NHL. Sometimes I'm like, we lost like 2-1. Why'd he give up 2 goals? You know, but he gave up 2 goals. You want perfection from this position. With that being said, I know Tuukka Rask is not your answer. So, for your prized position right now, who is your goalie? Who are you looking to win the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, you know, I have 2 goalies that I absolutely love. I love a quick goalie who covers one part of the post to the other, especially behind the net routes, and guys who can really make a quick quick pad save and just quickness all around. Mark Fury, Andre Fury, for Vegas.
He's coming up on 500 wins, I think.
Correct. He's got 492.
There you go.
But my favorite to start a team now, it would be Andre Vasilevsky of the Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Lightning, yeah.
Yep, that's also who I chose.
Big goalie.
Yep.
He covers most of the net because he's got a wide body.
Yeah. Seems like he's getting better.
And
he just keeps getting better.
For a big guy, 6'3", he's got so much quickness, and he covers. He's a positional goalie like Tuukka, but quicker thinker,
more alert,
and you know, to me, you have to start with a guy like that. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I also chose him, and for the record, when it comes to Tuukka Rask, I'm sorry. For every Bruins fan that like whoever says like, oh, why do you hate Tuukka? He did all this for us. He did all that. But I don't know. It's a love-hate relationship with Tuukka. I'll say he did a lot, but he did nothing. You know what I mean?
Did nothing.
He won a championship, but did he really? I don't think so. I think he was just on the roster when Tim Thomas was there, and Tim Thomas just did everything, right? Yeah. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Tuukka
Rask is a good positional goalie. He covers the spots well, but I don't think his eyesight is what it should be.
I feel like it's his rebound control.
Yeah,
because like once he saves one, he's not quick enough to get the other. You know, it'll go off his right pad. Right. It'll go to the left side, and he's just too slow to go to the other side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not one of the quickest goalies I've seen. He's a little slow reacting to certain spots on the goal. And in hockey, everything is about quickness. I mean,
for sure, yeah.
More than ever in hockey, they're drafting fast players, fast thinkers, guys who know how to finish the play. And Tuukka Rask, you got to go back in 2000 when he was drafted, or so 2005, I think he was drafted.
Tuukka
Rask. So. Yeah. The goalies back in the day were not as quick as they are today. They're so quick. They're so big. They cover so much of the net. And I was never a big fan of Tuukka right from the start. The very first year when he took over for Tim Thomas.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, but there's something wrong here. Being a former goalie myself. Is like he's just too slow reacting, and you gotta be quick.
You go from Tim Thomas from that crazy year he had with us,
right,
to Tuukka. I mean, Thomas was from post to post. The guy was quick, saving breakaways and everything. It was great having Tim Thomas.
Yeah, and Tim took a lot of chances too. I mean, he'd come out of the net and make a great save, and Tuukka Rask was more laid back, more stay in his own net and hope for the best, but. That's why I used to love goalies who used to come out of their own net and really arrest arrest the goal scorer. But
stick that stick out,
poke checks,
get the poke out.
Poke checks, yeah.
All right. Well, with all that being said, I want to let you know that our Chris Frias had some picks. He may not be here with us today, but he did have picks, and I'm going to announce these. This is what Chris would want. Much like us, he chose Conor Mcdavid in center. Left wing, he gave it to Panarin, New York Rangers.
I had him second.
Panarin was in New York Rangers. His second was Brad Marchand.
Okay.
And right wing, he chose Pasternak.
Yeah.
Kucherov was his second.
Yeah.
Now he has Victor Hedman like I do. I think, did you choose Victor Hedman?
I chose
John Carlson and Charlie McAvoy. That's who it was.
Yes, that's right.
So he has Victor Hedman and Adam Fox from New York as well.
Okay.
And his goalie was also Tampa's goalie there.
Right.
So we all agreed on the same goalie, Conor McDavid. We were pretty much in the same ballpark. Wanted Marchand.
Yeah.
These are the guys you need to look forward to on when hockey starts, because these guys, when you see them play, it's almost like must see TV, especially when Marchand's on the ice. You know, like the puck handling, the grittiness of him and everything. You really want to start watching this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, especially McAvoy. Man, last year, man, that dude was all over the ice. He was getting hit left and right because he didn't have too much protection on the other side.
Yeah.
But that guy is like, he plays reckless. He is such
sure.
a reckless player. And hopefully he doesn't get into a big major injury because I'll tell you, he is the sweatiest guy coming out of that hockey team. I'm telling you. He is unbelievable. So we'll see what happens in a few years when he matures more on the offensive side of the rink. And
he's only going to get better, in my opinion.
He is.
And he's going to ask for that money, so hopefully Bruins
can cough it up.
Give him that money.
Yeah, somebody will.
And I am looking forward to this hockey season. I don't know why. It's just this season's a little bit more. I'm anticipating more.
Well, it'll be a full season with crowds.
That too. Yes, it was a little bit weird last year with the division changes and everything, but pretty sure it's back to normal now.
Yeah. There's no more playing the same team 8 times. How many times was it last year?
It was 8.
Terrible.
We were facing them a lot. I think now we back to the old schedule. You know, we face Ottawa,
They gotta
New York,
They gotta
Tampa.
travel.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Swayman being the goalie.
Yeah.
Or is Ullmark going to be the starting goalie?
I think Swayman will get the nod until he proves otherwise. But I think Swayman is a taller goalie. But you know, Ullmark, right?
Ullmark, yeah.
Ullmark is a quicker goalie. He plays a lot like Mark Fury does.
I'm on the fence with Ullmark because it seems like that last preseason game against Washington, he seemed a little weak.
Yeah.
But I'm glad for Swayman. I've seen Swayman. Ullmark is new, so I'm not really comfortable with him yet.
Yeah.
We'll see who gets to start. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. It'll be pretty unique. Maybe a little breath of fresh air, not having Tuukka on net. Now we have someone else to blame for the Bruins.
So what do you think of Krejci leaving the Bruins?
I love Krejci. He's just... I really wish that they said that not to rule out a return, so I'm hoping he would come back. But I'm going to miss his playmaking, his passes to Taylor Hall, which sucks because Taylor Hall finally signs that contract.
Right.
And Krejci's leaving.
Yeah.
Now we got Coyle in the second line with Taylor Hall.
Would you think of breaking up the first line to maybe divide the scoring between 2 lines?
I kind of would, because you have Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak who could score as well. I don't know. Maybe bring them down to a second line. Bring Pastrnak back to the second line, and we have Bergeon Marshawn. This is
what I've been saying for quite a while. The Bruins made a lot of acquisitions this year.
They did,
but they did sign a lot of players who are at best third line players. They didn't really get anybody that would be a first or a second line offensive player. And now losing David Krejci kind of hurts. Nick Foligno is not David Krejci.
He's not, no, but he can put the puck in net. He's pretty good.
In the past 2 years or 3 years, he's got the numbers are a little bit less than Krejci has been.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Unless they know something that we don't know, the players that they signed in this offseason, I'm just saying, I'm asking why. Why would you not spend some money and make a trade or do something to improve line 2, because it's always been a problem with the Bruins. Lines 1 has always been fantastic with Bergeron, Marchand, and Pastrnak, but then when it comes playoff time, they all shut that line down, and then all of a sudden, there's no one that can score. Now, Taylor Hall's a fantastic line 2 player. He could even be a line 1 player
for sure
if he had some guy who can make some passes. But right now in that second line, I see maybe Craig Smith playing on one side and having, like you said, Coyle. If he can just get out of his ass and maybe start producing a little bit, then maybe something's going to happen there.
Yeah.
And but I just think that they needed to do more on the offensive side of the rink, and they have not done it for the past few years. I'll tell you what, since Don Sweeney took over, I don't see it.
He's had some questionable moves.
Yeah, his draft choices haven't been panning out very well. And I'll tell you, as a matter of fact, there were rumors out there saying, he's got to have a good year in the draft. Otherwise, who knows?
Yeah. Well, that was our fantasy lineup, our thoughts on Bruins. Like I said, should be an interesting season coming up for the Boston Bruins. There's going to be plenty of podcast episodes about the Boston Bruins of what to look forward to, maybe some game recaps. If they make it to playoffs, we're definitely going to cover that. But so far, this has been a great episode. I'm Josh, Mr. AKA. This is Mike, and this has been On the Thin Ice.